Hi everybody, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, and I hope you are all well. I hope you are all ready to kick off our Christmas craft off collaboration. So if you haven't yet seen the launch video from last night, please do go and check that out, because I'm going to only very briefly quickly go through a couple of things before I get straight into my project. In the launch video, I've explained to you all about the humongous giveaway that we've got and the massive amount of amazing prizes that we've had donated from all of these channels and creators. And even though I've put this up, even since I've put this up, there have been a few more that have come to me with extra stuff to go on. So I will update this. But basically the prizes are just going to keep on coming in. So how do you enter the giveaway? Well, you need to watch every single video on here, including the launch video, by the way. You need to leave a like on the videos and you need to leave a comment, otherwise we won't know you've been there, will we? So yeah, just leave a comment on every video, and obviously if you like the what you're seeing, please subscribe to their channels, because that's what this whole thing is meant to be about, helping develop the smaller channels and also giving encouragement to those that have been at this for quite some time. Okay, so let's have a little look at the schedule. Today is the 1st of November and we will be kicking off with two videos today, one from myself and one from Steph at Hilltop View Journals. Now I have seen a little sneak peek of Steph's her make, only from a very small angle. She's teasing us. She's popped a photograph onto Facebook today and I've been like, oh my goodness, what's she making? So I cannot wait to get over and have a look at her channel and see what she's been doing. Okay, so on to our prompt list. Now again, if you watched last night's launch video, you will know that there were freebies that you had to go and download from the Ko-fi channel. Put the link into yesterday's video. There's also a link tree in today's video with all of the details of every single person taking part in the collaboration. And also, just to make you all aware, if you were following the first collaboration sheet that went out last week, there has been a change to day 25 and we've now got Peggy, the Paper Bumblebee, joining us as well. So I have updated the grid, but just in case you're looking at an old version and you get a bit confused, but it doesn't matter, just follow the link tree and it will take you everywhere that you need to go. Oh, marvelous thing, technology, isn't it? So today you've got Steph and myself, and our prompt is flipping into Christmas. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this list. Do you know what? I have literally scratched my head raw trying to think of something different to do for you, because I mean obviously we do lots of tutorials with you, but I wanted it to be something a little bit different to something that I would normally do. So I just hope that I manage to hit that target for myself. I'm going to put this one aside now. I will remind me to come back to this at the end. Okay, so what are we going to be creating today? Well, obviously with a prompt like flipping into Christmas, it's going to be about flips, isn't it? There's going to be flips involved somewhere anyway. So what will you need? Well, you're going to need an A5 envelope. That's this size, okay? Doesn't matter what colour it is, just an A5 envelope. And you will also need an A4 envelope, which is double the size of this one, okay? It's the sort of thing you would normally have like documents come through the post in. So of course I know we only have A4 and A5 here in, I think in the UK, I'm not quite sure where else you have it, but if you are anywhere else, basically you'll want a large one that is like a document size envelope, legal paper size, slightly bigger than that, and then one that is half that size. So I'm hoping that you have them half that size. If you don't have one half that size, you can simply cut a large one in half and that will do perfectly, and you can just make good the top, okay? So that's not a problem. Right, so I did give you all a freebie with yesterday's video. Now I have cut mine out. You're probably all wondering, what on earth is that sheet of little squares for, Rach? Well, I'm going to explain to you now my thinking. I don't know what I've done with that one. Used it somewhere, I take it. Right, but that's safe. Okay, so cut them out, okay, and cut them out into lengths like this. And basically, we're going to be using these as tabs, all right? Because in order to make flips, we need them to be tabbed. So the first thing you're going to need to do, make sure that you've got, if you're using a white envelope specifically as well, make sure that you've got some ink to ink around your edges. That's going to be quite important with this because we're going to be covering the envelope, and obviously you don't want the colour leading through or flashing out the edges. So I have used, incidentally again, I know I used it in autumn, but it's been perfect with this, aged mahogany. Distress Oxide, just because it's matching what I'm doing really well and it's disguising that white edge there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is literally go down your edges, and you're going to literally, you know, oh my goodness, that's like the 5th time I've said literally. I'm going to try not to say that again tonight. I just heard myself saying it. It's like, stop saying literally. It's like when people keep saying, no, I must try not to say that. Sorry. Okay, so go around the edges, both sides, back and front. Smudge, smudge, smudge. Okay, you get the idea, don't you? Ink it all up, basically, so that you can't see any of the white. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to need to do there. Can you do that with your this size envelope, the smaller one and the larger one? Okay, go all around the edges of the larger one. I haven't got the large one in front of me a second. I'll show you that one in a second, but let's just deal with one at a time first. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do now, pop your flap inside, because we don't need that. Okay, and then you're going to need to get some cardstock. I actually used in my other one the cover of a 12 by 12, because that was fine, that was perfect. You need to go measure your envelope, and you need to measure your cardstock, and the cardstock needs to be, this is my leftover, I'll show you the done one in a minute. I just want to give you an example, but it needs to be wide enough to fill this cavity. So you need to be cutting it so that it's edge to edge. All right, imagine this is a bit longer now. Okay, edge to edge, and then trim it so that it sits literally just inside of there, so that basically you can see this poking out to the top there. All right, but flush with the top. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. So go cut your card, pop that in there. Now you're going to grab your A4 envelope now, which is the larger one. Now, ignore this ribbon on the back, that's there for a reason, and the reason is so I don't forget. Your A4 one, again, you see now what I mean by the smush, 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 okay? I would really go to town on it, okay? Really cover it, and like these bits here, especially these bits here, because these are the bits that always show. In fact, I've missed a bit there. There we go. I can't, you can't ink too much for this, all right? You're not going to see any of this, but you just guarantee the one bit that we don't ink will be the bit that's on show. So like I say, pretend you can't see that ribbon in a minute. Now, I've done the same with the A4. And there's a piece of card in this side. I've put 2 in here. There's one here, okay? And then there's one here. And it's literally just to reinforce your envelope, all right? So you need to cut 3 pieces of cardstock, 1 to go in your A5 envelope and 2 to go in your A4 envelope. And just as you're going along, just do your measurements, or whatever size your envelopes are, just measure as you go along. These lights are beautiful. I don't know how long they're going to last. If they get shoved out the way, please forgive me. But I like to have room to spread. They make me claustrophobic. No. So do that, stuff that with the cardstock, okay? So the next thing, we can put that to one side a minute now, we'll come back to that in a minute. The next thing that you're going to want to do then is to get some papers. Now, guys, you cannot say that I haven't provided you with enough papers for covering stuff up. Okay, well, that was technical sounding, for covering stuff up. So basically, I have been working with some of the collage papers to do this. I've also been working with some of the background papers, but these are all ideal. But specifically for this project, I've used the long portrait collage pages. Okay, so in the kit there are quite a few collage pages, and some of them are in portrait and some of them are in landscape. So for this I've used a mixture of the two, but when it came to doing the envelopes, I have used predominantly the portrait collage pages. I've also used some of the background pages that are not directional, so that's quite important too, okay? Because obviously we're going to be cutting out pieces to go over here, and this will remain that way up, okay? So you've got quite a few pages in the background papers. I actually haven't printed the full background kit yet. I've just got the shabby shirt at the moment. But you know, you could use the dots. You could use, I think I've used the poinsettia ones. Yeah, you've got a couple of those there. You could probably get away with that one there. So you get the idea, okay? But there are quite a few of the stripes. There are quite a few there that are not particularly directional. So they won't matter which way you use them. That one would be okay. Yeah, but you get the idea. I'm not going to go through them all. So the next thing is, oh, look at the ink on my desk. Messy girl. You're going to want to cut out now pieces of paper, as I just explained. So what I did was I took my sheet of paper, worked out which bit of it I wanted, you know, saved, and then I simply placed my envelope over the top, took my very light pencil, and then just did a really rough mark there, oops, I didn't do it that rough, there, and then I took it over to the cutting machine and I just cut that shape out there. Now, when it comes to then placing it over your envelope, it may need just tapering down a little bit, but obviously because we've inked those edges, it doesn't matter then if it comes a little higher, okay? Now, we're going to stick these on here now. And the other thing as well that was important to know, in order to do the front one with this lip, a little tip for you on how to cut that. I actually got a bit of scrap paper that was slightly shorter, because I couldn't draw on that to cut it because it was slightly too long. So I took a scrap piece of paper and I popped that inside. I then drew on the scrap piece of paper, took that out, cut out that lip, and then I used that as the template for the top of this piece. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because obviously you've got that little tiny lip. You might have a lower one, all according to the style of your envelope, I suppose. But so that's how I got from that there into this here. Just take those out of there in a minute. So this is my covered A5 envelope. Isn't she pretty? And I've also then gone around and stitched around the edges with some lovely gold thread, faux gold. Oh, that's the important thing as well. Sorry, I should have mentioned there. The piece that goes on this bit, this side, needs to be upside down. So A5 envelope, just so to be clear. Oh, that's really helpful, Rachel. They can't see that. That's a yellow pen. Right, which is right on here. So this is the A5 envelope. So you're going to cover the front. And it's going to be forward facing. And then the idea of this is that it lifts it up. So this is the back. So you need to cover, again, facing up. So basically, they're always going to be upside down to each other. Does that make sense? We're not going that way, okay? We're going this way. Okay, I hope we got that bit there then. Right, so as you'll see from my completed one, I've covered the front. Oh, and I've inked this bit here as well. Inside then I've got my piece of card. So that's all thingied in there, and it's really sturdy too. When you think it was like super flimsy, that's really kind of come on now. And of course the stitching always helps as well. Obviously I know not everybody has sewing machines. If you don't worry, you can still do this. That's perfectly fine. And if you really want a nice edging on there and you don't have a sewing machine, you could just do around the edges with washi tape if you like, just to reinforce, make it look a bit more interesting. You know, it's always a nice finisher as well. Just a little tip, if you are going to put washi tape over your edges instead of stitching, I would glue underneath where the washi tape is going to lie, because this is going to get quite a bit of movement and I wouldn't want it to kind of start peeling off, okay? So yeah, when you turn it over then it should be this way up, like that, all right? And then this will flap back down like that, okay? So the next thing then you're going to get ready is the first of your ties. So where are my scissors? Now you can do this with fabric, but I thought not everybody might have Christmas fabric to hand. So I thought I would make you some of the paper just in case. Now, if you want to use fabric to do this, that's perfectly fine. And you've got to remember as well, if you know, crafting along, you can make your own version of this little file folder. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the one that I'm showing you. This is just to give you some ideas of how to add in some flips and things. So these are going to be placed just inside here, like so. And have one here like that. Actually, I think what I did was I opened it, and where it opens, I popped one side in because I do want this to be on display. So one pops under there like that, and then the other one also pops under here like so. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, I have some printed vellum here now, and I've used the one of the kit pages. I printed onto a piece of vellum. Actually, really pleased with how that's printed out. And I have cut a strip. How big is the strip? I'm not really sure. Hang on a second. I'll get my ruler for you. It is, or we'll call it just over 2 inches. And if you want in centimeters, it is 5.5 centimeters wide. Okay, and I'm going to use this to make a belly band. Now, what I've done, just to reinforce the top and bottom, I've just like folded over about 1.5 inches either side, and that's what I'm going to be attaching the glue to. So let's just hope now that I have no gluey issues. Oh no, it's coming out nicely. It must be nice and warm this evening. Good, that's what we like to see, don't we? Okay, just a bit there and a bit there, because as I say, this is just for their belly band. We don't want to go over the top and have it everywhere. Just pop that back up there. Okay, and then just going to catch all of that bit there, and then pop that down into the middle here, and pop that up there like so. And there we are. So that now is this front section mostly done now. So as I said, we will put this to one side now. We'll come back to this later. That will have dried nicely, and we will continue then working with those flaps in a bit. Okay, so that's step one done and out the way. Let's get on to the next bit now. This bit is a little bit more involved, but it'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, I've done myself a little diagram so don't get confused. Okay, so we've done the, we've inked all of our large envelope now, haven't we? And we have popped inside the cardstock, as I explained earlier on, both sides with a gap in the middle so that this opens and closes perfectly fine. So if you remember, earlier on I was talking to you about directional papers to use. So this section here is the piece that is going to sit underneath this here. So this fold will go over the top like that, and then it will fold up like so. And this will be the first of our flipping into Christmas. Okay, and then you'll open this up then, because that'll be the front, and you'll open this, and then you've got the bit at the back. Okay, so just so you can kind of get a feeling for what you've got where and what you want to cover it with what, if that makes sense. So I have gone ahead and cut these out, because nobody wants to watch me measuring and cutting out papers, do you? They are for the inside, and I've done these ones for the front and the back. I think she's the front, so I thought we'll pop her there. And I've also gone around and pre-stitched all of them, because obviously I can't stitch these to the actual envelope. You'll see why in a moment, but that wouldn't have worked. So they're all pre-stitched, and in that way then when they go on, it looks like the whole thing is stitched. It's a bit of a cheat really, but it just finishes everything off really nicely. We will not be sticking these on yet, but it will be prudent for you to have them cut out ready. Okay, so that one will go there like so, and then that one will go there like so, and then this lovely one is going to go on the back like so. Now, why have I got that ribbon stuck there? Well, I've got that ribbon stuck there because this piece of ribbon needs to be stuck underneath this piece of paper here. And if I don't stick that in, I know I'm going to stick this down, forget. So it might not be a bad idea for you to get a bit of ribbon, nail length long, and just stick that in ready so that you don't forget. Because I'm just trying to think ahead today, guys, so that we don't have steps that then I think after, oh, I should have done that first. So like I say, we're not sticking these on right now, because we've got things to attach to them, and that needs to be done with this piece of paper off. Okay, so that's my front and my back, and then I've got my insides by there. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at now is we're going to jump on a step now, and we're going to look at this one here. So I might just leave them there a minute because I know what I'm doing when they're down. So the first thing we're going to look at is this side here, which is the right hand inside fascia. Okay. Now what I have done, I have started to make some flip pockets. Okay. And this one is going to sit here like so. Okay. And what I've done is when you flip it down, we've got a vellum pocket stitched onto the inside. But this too is also, she's saying this is a pocket. Oh, there we are. Is a pocket. Okay. So, and that will sit here like so. So that's going to be attached to this page. And I personally feel I might like to stitch that on, but we'll see. We'll see. I have stitched the bottom of it already and all around the edges. So that's all done. But just to kind of show you how I created that pocket, simply I have taken, this is one of the A4 collage pages. It's actually one of the landscape ones, and I've simply just folded it in half, cut it in half, and then I've scored then about an inch flap on the bottom. Okay, so if I just explain that to you again, I have simply taken a page just like this. All right, I have folded it that way. Okay, then I cut it in half. Okay, so I've got two halves, and then I have just folded up again then an inch on each one. All right, so you can see where that was originally one piece of paper. All right, and out of that then I have created these two fabulous pockets. And what I want to show you is the reason I haven't put this together, because it's quite important how you assemble this, especially if you're stitching. Now, if you're not stitching and you're gluing, that's fine. You can crack on and start gluing bits and pieces together. And what I've also done is to score and fold down about half an inch, I would say, of a little lip on there, just so that it makes this a bit more solid, because if we're popping things in and out of these vellum pockets, sometimes they can tear. So I have just reinforced that. Okay, now basically the reason I haven't put this pocket together is because this I'm going to stitch on here, but I need to be able to do it with that out the way. All right, so I'm going to literally just stick that into my machine now. I'm going to stitch around there, there and there, and then once I've done that, I will close the pocket up, and then I will go down this edge, down that edge, and then up that edge, making sure to leave the top flap open. Okay, so I have stitched this together now, just like this one. So we've now got two of these lovely little flappy pockets. Okay, so that's more flaps for you, or flips rather. Then what we're going to do now is we're going to try and do something in order to affix them so that they will stay shut. And the solution I've come up with is to use some magnetic tape. So I've got some of this magnetic tape here on a roll. I haven't used this stuff before, so I hope it's going to work. I've used the little circle discs before, but I have a horrendous habit of mislaying them, so I don't know what on earth I've done with them. They make me a bit nervous, I gotta be honest, having magnets in the graph room, especially with phones and stuff. I know, but I'm like a dinosaur, I know. But so I tend to like shy away from it a bit. But let's move those up with it just a second. Let's glue these onto here nice and firmly, and then we will put our little magnets inside then, and I will show you how I think we'll be able to fix them into place. Now I hope that you've had no issues in finding your kits and things that you're going to work with to work along with us. If you did want to buy the collaboration kit, it is available in our Etsy shop and in our Ko-fi shop. And they are now 40% off. In fact, all our kits are now 40% off. If you wanted to go and take a look at those. Right, let's just work out now quickly before this dries. Yep, okay, I'm happy with that there. Just make sure it's nice and straight. Yep, marvellous. Right, so let's just put that into place. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking you all over the place up there. It's like the hokey cokey here. Excellent, okay. Right, there we are. Perfect. Love it. Right, so that's that one done. Now, of course, there are other ways that I did think about affixing these, and one of the ways was to put a a split pin brad in to the paper, which is another reason why I haven't fixed the paper down yet, and then use like a little circle disc thing to close it. But I then thought to myself, hang on a second, these are meant to be nice big deep pockets. If I do that, I'm not going to be able to get anything in there because there'll be a closure on there. So that's why I haven't done that. I also thought about putting little ties around them. Could have done that, I guess. That's another option. If you wanted to, you could put some nice ribbon again behind this piece of thing here. You'd have it come around and have it like a little gift. So you'd have a little bow at the front. Might be quite a nice idea. Sorry, let me explain. Come here, red ribbon. You could have it like that. So you could pop this then underneath the, or you could do it with some string actually. If you've got any baker's twine, that might be quite nice. So it looks like a little gift then, look. But it may be a bit of a faff then every time you want to open it. So you may end up finding you don't. But again, it's quite nice because you might not think, oh, there's something behind there. perhaps I'd have it a bit further up just to keep it actually closed. I mean, that looks quite cute, doesn't it? So like I say, that's an option. You could do that, but I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave saying and try the magnet idea because I'm feeling crazy. Let's do something different. Okay, so this is the one. Now I'm going to put this. I have checked. They will connect through the pieces of paper because obviously I'm going to have to stick this one on the inside of the back so that it faces forward. And I'm thinking it might be a better idea if I slide it like halfway down on the inner bit there. So it's actually sitting here at the moment, okay? And then I was thinking, well, if I put that there, then, and it does, it, as you can see, it does stick, all right? So first bit is to peel this off and then get these stuck in place. Oh, that was fairly painless. Right, now I've got to get into the pocket again. It's stuck all over everything. So bear with. You know me, I'm all fingers and thumbs. Right into the corner there so it doesn't get in anything's way. There we go. I think that was fairly successful. Now, oh, well, it's working anyway. Now, the only thing is, in order for this to work, yeah, that's fine. Great. The only thing is for this to work, it needs to be that way around. So I'm going to have to stick this sticky bit onto here. So I'm going to just leave that in place for the time being, okay? Because otherwise, if I put it at the back now, it's going to be stuck the wrong way. It needs to be this way because of the polarity of the magnets. That won't work that way. So I'll have to stick it the other way. I'm sure I'm making sense. I know I'm making sense. Right. Okay. Let me get these done and then we'll move on. Okay, so they're fixed in place now. I've popped, the first one I've put inside that pocket, the second one I've put into the vellum, and that seems to be sticking quite nicely. But this one is too. I know they're not filled yet, but we'll see how they turn out when they are. So for now, I've just put some washi tape over the back of the magnets to keep them in place because obviously I can't stick them down. So I'm just going to move these out of the way a second now. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of fabric and I'm going to simply just pop that over the what is this here? The spine of our little file folder. Now, I just realised I haven't told you the purpose of this file folder. The purpose of this file folder is to serve as an ephemera holder, because I don't know if you're as organised as me, and I am going to show off because I'm usually like the worst, especially in collaborations. I never have anything ready. Very often I don't have any ink. I did have that drama, but thankfully that was last week. And I never get my fussy cutting done until, gosh, sometimes when the event's over. And some collaborations we've done, and I'm going to be honest about this and say I haven't even had a chance to utilise the kit at all. I'll have done like 2 or 3 videos and just don't get the time because it's just crazy. So I'm really hoping this time that we have a nice peaceful collaboration with no drama. There's never any drama in the collabs, so let me just be clear about that. But you can guarantee if I'm running an event, all hell usually breaks loose here. So those of you that believe, cover us in prayer. I'd appreciate that. There's always something goes wrong. Now I've had the flu, that was 2 weeks ago as well, so I'm hoping we're going to be okay. The first year I had COVID, if you remember. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'll never forget that. Just started the collaboration, came in with COVID, and then we booked to go to Dublin like in 2 or 3 weeks later. I think it was like the middle of November we were going. And I caught it. No, I think my kiddies caught it and then passed it on to me, as they do. And then Shaw was the last one to have it. And I remember, of course, we had to have isolation then, didn't we? And he came out of isolation the day before we were driving to Ireland. Oh my goodness. And the pair of us, we were still rough as anything when we were away, but it was good to have some fresh air. And we travelled through Ireland. It was lovely. Went on the ferry over North Wales. Really lovely. Oh, I can't wait to go back. Desperate to go back. Back and see our rose next time, I hope. Right, okay, so I've stuck that down there now. All right, that's done. Still not going to stick those pages in just yet, and I will tell you for why now. Because we've got to, see, look how much better that looks now. Not looking at that horrible, ugly envelope now underneath the way. So let me just position those where they need to go. Okay, just so you're getting the feel for this now. All right, then the next thing that we're going to do is to take, what have I done with it? Oh, bear with, there's like tools growing on my desk, you know. Right, we're going to need this. So we've got that there a minute. Goes off. Told you these lights would ebb further and further out, didn't I? And I'm going to need that. Come back to that line in a minute. Ah, there she is. Right, my pretty girl. Bring her over here. So this is the next thing that we're going to do now. So I've taken another lovely collage page. I love this page, by the way. I think it's stunning. And I'm going to fold it in half, like so. You're going to take your dauber, ink, 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 especially this bit here on the edge, okay? So I've done that bit to save the irritation of me inking. Then we're going to take some more of that single sheet of vellum that I've printed on. I'm going to see quite a few bits of this, and I have cut it in a shape to be a nice pocket. Now I'm obviously going to fold the top and the bottom down just to reinforce. That's why it's so big. So let me do that quickly now. Stitch that now onto here, okay, which is why I haven't, you know, I've left this open. We do all the work on the pages before they get fixed in, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stitch across this side here, and across the bottom. And while I'm at my sewing machine, the other side of this page, I am going to create a double belly band. So I have 2 pieces of lace here ready. I told you I'm trying to come to you prepared tonight, guys and gals. Save a bit of time. So I know I need to trim the bottom off, but I'll do that once it's stitched into place. And then I'm going to pop that one over the top there just to make it a bit more pretty. There we go. And we'll try to make sure that goes in there straight. And I'm going to stitch that on there as well, so it doesn't go anywhere. And when I stitch it, I'm going to kind of pull it really taut, all right? Because obviously we want that to hold stuff in place, don't we? Stuff, you know, our ephemera and our bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm going to zip off, stitch those, and I will be straight back. Okay, so that's our belly band now affixed to the page. Lovely. And then on the other side, we've got our beautiful vellum pocket, and I've stitched across the top. Unfortunately, my bobbin went, so it got a bit messy there, but it'll be all right. And then down and around there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is attach this now to these tabs. So we just need to kind of line everything up a minute, pretend now that we're going to be how it's going to be looking when it's stuck into place. Gosh, it'll make sense in a minute, right? Talking gobbledygook here. How it will look when it's finished, that's what I'm trying to say. So like that, like that. Now the open bit we're going to have out here, okay? So make sure that that can fold over there nicely like that, and the same like that. And then this is going to go in between the two, like so. Right, so that'll come down there like that. And before you stick it into place, you need to line it up on top of the other page, because you need to know where it's all going to sit when it's finished. So for example, it's no good you putting that really tight into the tab and then opening it, and then it's no, like, you know, there's got to be a little bit of movement down there, like a hinge. So just make sure that you've accommodated for all of that. And I want my tab seen. It's entirely up to you. You can stitch your tabs inside of your pocket if you wish to, but I would like mine to be seen. So I'm going to just glue right on the edge there. I'm going to be stitching around the edge of my page in a minute anyway, so there's no need to go over the top with the glue. What's more important now is just that this is straight, so that it sits in line with the page below. Go. One tab tabbed. Marvellous. There we go. And then the same with this one here. I'm just going to glue. Gosh, I'm making it look so easy. I just hope to goodness now when I flip this open that it is working. Okay. So obviously bear in mind, once there's stuff in there as well, look, it could get a bit bulky, couldn't it? Yeah? Okay then, right. I'm just going to move these out of my way a minute, because my area is getting a bit crowded, and I can't think in a crowded area. Put the scissors down a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to very carefully, I'm going to move you a minute, Mr. Gonk. Very carefully just open the page. So, without adjusting too much, and then I want to stick then that down there like that. Okay, same process. Oh, excuse you. just on the edge. Come on and play up now, you've been good all night. There we are, marvellous. Just on that edge there. Lovely, marvellous, lovely. And then the same up here. Just on that very edge there. And then fold that over like so. I'm just going to double check this all works before I go and do my stitching. Yep, I'm happy with that. Marvellous. Oh, don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Now, what I'm going to do now, obviously these are still loose, I'm going to stitch now around this page, here and here. I'm going to leave the top open, just in case we want an extra pocket, okay? But I'm just going to fix those into place now. I'm just going to let that dry just a second. Actually, while I let that dry, I suppose I could do the other side. I don't want to risk getting any glue into my machine. She's being a little temperamental at the minute. I think she probably needs a good service. Bless her, she's a little workhorse, and I haven't actually had her serviced yet, so I think she's overdue. Right, okay, on to this side a moment then. We'll come back and finish that in a moment. So this side, I have selected this page. We've got jolly old Saint Nick on here. I just thought he'd look rather nice in there. So we're going to do the same thing here now. I'm going to fold this in half. Give us a nice crease down here. There we are. Marvellous. And then what I've done for this page, oh, let's just very quickly go in and ink because I haven't inked this one. I do apologise. I had a lot of interruptions this evening trying to get this done. I'm not even going to tell you what the time is because you'll all go, oh, do everything last minute, Rachel. I know I do. I know. I couldn't think, guys. I really couldn't think. I was just like making sure everything else was perfect and I just couldn't think about my tutorial. And then it was suddenly, Steph was saying in our messenger group on like, I don't know, Saturday, Sunday, that she was doing a collab video, and I'm like, wow, you're early, you're super organised. And then it suddenly dawned on me, no, actually, Rach, it's just like 2 days left. You know, and some people have other jobs too, so that's why she was like being super organised. But she was bang on time, and I was just like leaving it to the last minute, as always. But there we are. So that's fine. I got my idea now. Don't worry about it. It'll be up in time. There we go. Okay, so that will sit nicely on top. And it's going to do exactly the same thing, and it's going to open out this way. This way, sorry, not this way. But what I have done, I have done more vellum, printed on more vellum, with that lovely Christmas tree page. I love that Christmas tree page. And I have made 3 pockets, and they are going to sit one on this side, and I thought perhaps 2 then on this side. Our lovely Christmassy house. And I may just glue these down, I think, and then stitch around the outside of the what do you call it, the page. There we go. So we'll have one there, and then you'll have one there like that. I think they look quite nice. There we go. Right, so let me just quickly glue these down, because I don't want to be taking too much of your time, guys. I promise it would be nice and straightforward. And I hope you're still following. Right, so glue that. Sneeze. In line now. Get over here. Go. I keep like wanting to have a bit of a strop that I haven't had much time to like play with my stuff recently. Play with my stuff, something like a child. You know what I mean? Craft. And I gotta keep reminding myself, I got a whole weekend coming up. I'm so excited. I'm trying to kind of like downplay it at home, obviously, because obviously it's a bit like rude in there to be like, oh yeah, I'm off for the weekend. I'm so excited to be away and you'll all just be here and blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of like not saying anything. And they'll be like, yes, meals will be prepared, don't worry, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, nobody really cares, I don't think. But, you know, I just try to be sensitive to other people's feelings. But I am just like so unbelievably excited. So excited. Again, have no idea what I'm going to do for my tutorial for the ladies on Saturday. It'll come to me. I've got a bit of an idea, but it'll come to me by then. Guys, it'll come as no surprise to any of you that I was yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. Referred for an assessment for ADHD. No surprise to any of you, I know. I've had several comments, even on my YouTube comments in the past, from well-meaning people saying, have you ever thought of getting diagnosed? You may have ADHD. Yeah, I know. Now, my eldest was diagnosed a couple of months back, and my middle son has recently had a diagnosis for ASD, but he's also on the waiting list for ADHD, and as is my youngest. So it was a case of, well, it's come from somewhere. And I think this was a case of apple didn't fall far from this particular tree. I tell you, I am the maddest at a lot of them. But yeah, it's been a real eye-opener, actually. But so I actually am not going to apologise if I do things last minute. I think my last-minute creativity is my superpower, and I always like to think that my idea is fresh out my head, not always fully formed, but you seem to enjoy the journey with me, so we'll just, it's working, isn't it, guys? We'll just keep going as things are going. But it does explain why I talk so quickly. So I do apologise for those of you that find me a bit fast, but there is a good reason for it. I promise you. Yeah. Okay, right, that's fine. I'm happy with that, and I can just zip around the edge of that now with my sewing machine, and they are perfect pockets. Love them. Oh, you can't beat a bit of vellum, and you can't beat a bit of printed vellum. Now, the last bit here to do now is our little these things. So shall we have that colour there, or shall we go with the stripes? No, I think we'll go with that because that's what's underneath. So scissors, what have we done with them? Here they are. Right, okay. Cut that. And I'm going to simply fold it in half, like so. Pop my bone folder over it. And like I say, you can do this with fabric. You don't have to use the paper, but I just thought it matched, and some people don't have Christmassy fabric, so you know it would kind of sort that issue out. Oh, what am I leaning on there? Nothing. Open box. Open box. Okay, right. There we are. Oh, do you know what one of the benefits is of filming this time of night? What can you hear out there? Oh. As I say that, my son opens his bedroom door. No, sorry, I was alluding to the fact that they've had no barking dogs. Yay! Oh, one of our dogs is in season and she's being left in. You've all heard this before, I know. Different one this time. It's our Rosie, our Plumber. Oh my word, the noise she's making. You'd think I'm waiting for like pet services to knock my door. You literally think somebody's strangling somebody. It's horrendous. She's such a drama queen. She's just showing off because she can't go out for a walk. Terrible, terrible. I don't know, she seems to be more in season more frequently than the others do because there's always her gob I can hear out there. But she's just so loud. And I go to the bathroom window because it's like the nearest to the kennels. I'm like, Rosie, settle down. She doesn't take, well, she'll stop for a minute. Oh, just stops for a minute and then she fires herself back up again. Then it's like, oh, really? Really, dog? Really? Such a drama queen. Right. Now, you should have a flap under here where your A4 envelope opens. These are going to tuck in there, okay? You're going to put one there. And then one there. Okay. And then, oh, that being said, actually, you could put it under there, but it's entirely up to you. You can either put it in your flap or you can put it underneath this piece of paper here. Because that side, I'm going to be putting it under that bit of paper there, but I'm just wondering if I don't put it in there, that would actually leave a pocket there, so maybe I won't. No, let's put it under here. And it's actually a bit more stable under there, I think, because that's not straight, is it? So stick it into there, avoid your magnets if you've used magnets, and then we're going to pop this inside of them, like we did the other one. One in there like that, one in there like that. And now let's just get everything lined up like so. So that will go there. Wow. Let's have a look at this one, because I'd like them to try and look even. That'll be there like that. I mean, obviously you can line yours up however you want, but I'm just kind of trying to give you an idea of how I've like worked out where to put mine. I don't know about you, but I'm a bit slow sometimes when I'm watching tutorials and I'm like, oh, how did that bit get there? How did they do that? How did they fix that into place? So it's these bits I always think are important. The logistics. How did that work? Right, and then that will then open like that. Yeah, okay, right, I think that's fine. So let's glue that into place. I'm going to just go with it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm sure it'll be fine. You'll never know if it's wrong because I won't show you. I will, of course I'll show you. She says, shaking her head. My son and I were really hoping to get to the craft show up in Birmingham on Thursday, but it's looking unlikely at the moment because I've still got, surprise, surprise, quite a few things left to do before Friday's retreat. I'm really hoping to get up there and go. Are any of you going? Birmingham? I know Kerry's going. Kerry Griffiths, Kerry the Craft, I know he's going up. He said he'd be there, but I don't know. There's not many of you in the UK speak to me. Hello, are you there? Is there anyone in the UK who watches me? Speak up, raise your hand now. If you do, are you going to Birmingham? Because I'd like to go up, but I'm a bit scared because they're not really my crew of people. I've never been to a big craft fair. No, I really haven't. And it's in the NEC in Birmingham. And I wanted to go last year, but didn't know about it until like it was too late. And then of course when I booked the retreat and Kerry emailed me and he was like, you realise it's the same weekend as the NEC? And I was like, no, even though I didn't know what I was saying no about at the time. And then when I spoke to him then he was like, yeah, it's the big craft show. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, I didn't even know about this. So, but the first day is the Thursday. So I'm like, I really want to go. I really want to see what's going on. But I'm also thinking, it's a 2-hour drive. And I gotta get up and get everything ready for the retreat the next day. Although I haven't got to be there till 3, so actually I could have a lie-in, couldn't I, Friday morning? It's not going to hurt. Do you know, I think I'm going to go. We'll see. We'll see if I go. If I go, I will do a video and show you up there, okay? But we'll see. I want to go because I know there's Christmas fair thing on up there. There! Oh, I'm really pleased with that, and I love these. They look lush. I'm so sorry. I think I just knocked you. Oh, I gotta get used to this microphone. I do apologise. Right, okay. Can you see how it's starting to build now, guys? Can you see? Can you see? Doesn't it look fabulous? Right, so I need to stitch around those, stitch around those. They can then be stuck underneath it. They can be stuck down. And then the last bits I got to do then is to stick the front on and to stick the back on with the ribbon, do the ties at the front and any extra bits. Right, okay, we've got a plan. Okay, I'm going to go stitch and then I'll be back. Okay, so we have stuck in all of these bits now. All of these bits, that sounds really grand, didn't it? So we've got our little flap there. We've got our little pocket there. That sticks into place. Pocket here, double belly band. Got another little pocket on the front here. And then we've got our flap bit there, pocket there, pocket there, pocket there, and then flip down pocket with a pocket in there. So all of that's now drying nicely. Happy with that. I've also stuck the back down. So there we are, that bit's gone onto the back there now. Now, of course, you can continue on and add as many extra flips and flaps and folds and things as you like. I'm just going to put in place on here what I feel is serviceable and what we've got time to do. So let's get the last bit done now, which is the front. And I need to glue this onto the front here. But I also need to make sure that these tabs are glued in there as well. Okay, so first things first, I need to fix them to the top of the, this could be a bit tricky. So let's get this done. Let's try not to get glue on there because it's got to be glued in here, hasn't it? This little tab. So I'm just going to simply pop a little bit on the edge there because you don't need a lot of this glue. That's something I would be interested actually to see if I get up to the craft fair, would be some alternate glues. See what everybody's recommending, because I think there's like a lot of card makers and stuff up there, and you know, lots of other crafts. It's like all crafts basically. It's not, but as there will be card makers up there, they will probably have a fair good idea of what glue is good to try. But I like this stuff, but I'll be honest, I have just had to nip out and wash my hands after sticking all those down. I was kind of covered in it. And it gets very sticky. It took me a little while to get it off, I'll be honest. And the other thing as well, I'm not incredibly fond of is the fact that it's very hard to get out. It really hurts my hand squeezing that bottle. So if I can find something that will improve on that, that would be great. Right, okay, so that's fine. And then I'm going to just stick this bit here down on the back. Just like so. There we are. So I need to know that it can fold over. It'll bend itself into place, but just make sure that you don't do it to the point where it's too tight then. Does that make sense? It made sense to me. There we go. The fold needs to be there, not because you can't move this. Does that make sense? So it needs to be able to be open, and then you need to have a little bit of almost an extra fold in the fold. Yeah, that was as clear as mud reach. Right, okay, so imagine now that the other bit is down and that is sitting directly over the top of it. And then we're gonna just simply, she says, flip that up. Where does it need to be? Right, come on, lights, you're in my way now. Right, well, the answer is there. That's where it needs to be, right by there. Plenty of glue on that because I don't want this coming off. And we'll just tap them into place like so. Oh, perfect. Perfect. That's it. And then while that's drying, we will glue all around here and fix this into place. And then hopefully we'll be almost done. Just one more thing we've got to do then. There we are. Okay. Do one of those, like, do you remember those like glue spreaders we used to have when we were in school? Just spread the PVA everywhere. Do one of them. One of those. One of those. I could do one of those. Da da da. Dee 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 dee. Okie dokie. Right. There we are. I think that looks okay. It's all lined up. Smush that along now. Get rid of all the excess glue. Yeah, I should have brought a wiping me, shouldn't I? Covered in glue again now. Silly Billy. Yeah. Right. Hey guys, did I mention that I'm nearly at 19,000 subscribers? I'm so excited. So excited. I really, really hope I get there today. I really do. You guys are just amazing. I'm so grateful to you all. I'm so grateful that you keep coming back. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, would you consider please subscribing? I'd be very grateful. I really would. There we go. Okay. There we are. Oh, look at that. So we've got our ribbon. Oh, wow, actually. Oh, okay. I didn't realise I'd provided myself with so much. That's not quite what I had in mind, but it works, I guess, and it saves me doing what I was going to do additionally. It's a little short, but it works. Okay, what I was going to do was I was going to put some what are they called? Eyelets in here, and then I was going to do little ties either side, which I think might be quite nice. It's all according to what I put onto the front of this later on, but we'll think about that later. I haven't got time to worry about that tonight. I've got to get this video out to you guys. So the last part of my flip flap file folder is going to be this very beautiful vellum pocket that was actually inspired by the wonderful Stephanie from Hilltop View Journals, who is my my partner today on the first. But I haven't yet watched. She's recently put up a tutorial making a ephemera folder incidentally, which I haven't yet seen all of, but I did see a very quick, she does lots of reels, doesn't she? Oh, she's really good with her social media, fair play. And all I saw was her pull this vellum bag out of something, and I thought, oh, I love it. So that's completely inspired me today. So I have printed out this beautiful page from the kit onto this vellum, which I think printed rather nicely. And instantly, without realising, I had also done some of the tabs in the very same page. So that is now going to go down in here. And there we have it. So that will stick out there just, well, actually I've designed it so that it will go all the way in, so that when this flips out, that doesn't get caught. So it is a little shorter than the actual pocket. But I think that that was quite sweet to have that in there. So thanks, Steph, for that idea. Like I say, I hadn't planned to have this tying it up. I didn't realise I'd put quite so much on there. But I think that'll do the job quite nicely for now. And it actually does what I wanted it to do, which was to hold it all nicely together. So I'm going to just quickly fill my ephemera folder with my ephemera, and then I will show you what we've got. Okay then, so here is the finished product. I did fussy cut out the Christmas tree and I've stuck that on the top. I did do a little bit of stitching around the edge, I don't know if you can see that. And I popped a little bit of green lace on the front just to finish off the dressing of the tree. And then I did put my ribbons through the side because, as a guest, it did get rather bulky inside. So I'm just going to quickly show you now how all my ephemera has been put away. So inside our little flip here, I've popped all of my envelopes. And then here I have got, oh, I added a pocket onto the front here as well. And I've added all my tool tags in there. Popped a bit of lace over the front just to finish it off. And then as we open up the inside, give you a quick squiffy through here. So we've got our belly band, which I've popped a little bit of a fussy cut on, and I've popped my envelopes underneath there as well, and they fit there quite nicely. So that's that side. And then in here, then I've got the little folios, and I've put my fussy cuts into a vellum bag, and I made a little with the rest of my leftover vellum. And then I've just decorated them with a couple of little fussy cuts. I've got all my pockets in here, and then I've got all my little mousy cuts in there, little mouse up there. And then in here I've got all my tags, which I've got lots of. Another little fussy cut there. And then here, more tags, journal cards, more pockets. And then I have got my gingerbread fussy cuts in there. And that's everything all put away. So all my ephemera now fits nicely into this folio. I dare say at some point I may add a pocket onto the back, but for now I am more than happy with this beautiful flip in into Christmas. Do you like what I did there? Yeah. Okay, so quick reminder before my battery dies on my phone. Tomorrow you have got Ruby and Pearl EXO, and you have got Bella at Bella's Crafty Studio, and their prompt is embossing for texture. So looking forward to that tomorrow, ladies. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave me a like and a comment if you want to enter into the giveaway. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, if you'd consider doing so, I would be very grateful. Other than that, enjoy the rest of the collaboration. I will be dipping in and out. Keep an eye out for extra videos from me with the freebies. But have a wonderful time, and thank you for joining me. Take care now. Bye-bye.